Hey guys, John here with RealTruck.com. Today I want to show you how to install the Cargomaster Congo Pro roof rack on this 2014 Jeep Wrangler. As you can see here, we've got everything out of the box for our Congo Pro base roof rack, and what that entails is your front and rear hoops that goes over the front of your by your windshield and on the back by your rear window, all your brackets to attach them, and also your rails that run from the front to the back to hook the two hoops together. So let's get this on the Jeep. All right guys, so we're ready to put our first piece of our safari rack on the Jeep, and what we're going to do is we're going to start with the front hoop that goes up and around the front windshield, and as you can see we got it laid out here, and we also have the screws or bolts that are a Torx or a hex head bolt, and we're going to use those, and what we have to do then is put them together basically just like any other bolt that you're going to be putting on your vehicle. So your split washer or lock washer, depends on what you want to call it, will go on first, and just slide that up on there, and then take your flat washer and put it on, and just go through, and you can see here we've already did all of our other bolts. All right, so what we need to do here before we can install our front hoop is we need to remove some bolts from our Jeep. And what we're going to do then is take these two right here out and these two right here in the front, and then those nylon washers are going to go in here behind our hoop, and I'll show you guys how to do that, and then we'll put our bolts through. So what you're going to want to do then is get a buddy to help you with it, because that hoop is kind of big, bulky, and it's just a little bit too heavy to try and hold both sides up and put it on the front of here by yourself. So we're going to get these bolts out of here. I'm going to get somebody to give me a hand, and we'll get that up on here and show you how to bolt it up. Okay, so what we're going to do then is go over to the other side and pull the ones off on the other side, and we'll be ready to attach our front hoop. All right guys, so those little nylon washer spacers things, just so you know where they go, when you pull out your old factory bolts, you'll notice there's an indent in there where the bolts set in, sort of like the one you can see around this bolt head here. You're going to set that nylon washer in there, and then get a friend to help you put this up on here and start one side while you get the other side started. And I've gone ahead and done that. Got all the bolts started in, so we don't have to worry about this thing falling off and damaging our vehicle while we're doing this. So at this point, you can go ahead and tighten these up and go over and tighten the other side up, and then we're ready to go to the back and attach the rear hoop. All right guys, so we got the front all together. We're ready to start putting our rear hoop on the back here for our rack. And one of the things that we're going to do with this particular Jeep is, because it still has the factory bumpers on it, the owner wants to keep these on for right now. So what we have then is we have this no drill mounting plate. And what this is going to allow us to do, instead of taking our bracket for our rear hoop and drilling it into the bumper, which you guys know if you own one of these are just plastic covers, there's no metal, so there's nothing going to hold anything. You mount this onto the frame right here, and then your mounting plate for your back hoop is going to mount onto this. Now what this is going to do essentially is there's a bracket in here that holds the bumper. It's just just something to make it a little stronger on the sides. And we're going to take the two bolts out of it where it goes into the frame, and that's where this is going to go. However, because of the design of that bracket, what we need to do is take our H spacer, and we're going to put it on the bracket and behind here. So it's going to be on here something like this. And then we're going to take these bolts that come with our kit, and we're going to run these through. Because of the design of this, we need the longer bolt. We can't reuse the factory ones. And that's going to allow us to set this up so that it's going to sit out here really nice over top of the bumper, allow us to actually put our hoop on. Now, something to keep in mind, before you get this thing all tightened up and down, you want to make sure that you take your carriage bolts and install them from the bottom of this up. and that way they'll be ready to go. Otherwise, what'll happen is that you'll get this on, you won't be able to get these in. So let's get this mounted up so we can get this hoop on and show you how cool this thing is. So there you go. We've got our mounting brackets installed. So we're ready at this time then to go ahead and start putting our back hoop together and get it onto the Jeep. So let's get that done. We've got our no-drill brackets mounted up to the back of our Jeep. So we're ready to start putting our rear hoop together. Take our legs for our rear hoop and we're going to insert the rubber bushings into them. Really easy to do. You just get them lined up into the holes and just push them down in. Just like so. You can see that one's in there really nice. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Once you get these lined up and started, then they just go right in just like so. And then we'll take the bushing and we'll put it in there. Now what that does is that stops you from running your bolt all the way through the rubber bushings here. And there you go, that's in, just that simple. We'll do the other leg, and then we're going to attach these to the top of our hoop. Okay, so what we're gonna do then is our mounting brackets, we're just gonna go ahead and attach those on here. Now these we wanna leave loose. I'm gonna go ahead and just run that in a little bit, but we don't wanna tighten that up because we may have to take it back off when we put our bars on up the top. Just depends, because you can see here, guys, there's two different holes. That's a height adjustment, just so that we get the right height on it. And so I'm just going to run this down to hold it in place for now. Okay, and then I'll just hold that there for now so it doesn't fall off. And I'm going to put the one on the other side, and then we're going to set this up on the back of the Jeep and check our height. What we've done then is we've went ahead and set our rear hoop up on the back of our JK Jeep here, and you can see that the height is perfect. Everything's going to work out nicely. But what I would suggest that you guys do is enlist the aid of the same buddy that helped you with the front hoop, because it's a little bit awkward to try to do both sides of this yourself. So once we have this up on here, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our bolts or our nuts on top of our carriage bolts down here on the bottom of the bracket to hold this to the back of the Jeep. Now, the bolts that we put in for the sides to mount this on, leave those loose still, because we've got some top bars that are going to have to go on here, and we want to be able to move this back and forth to get the right length before we tighten everything up. So let's get this attached, and then we'll get to the top bars. When you go to tighten this up, there's a couple ways you can go about doing this. As you can see here, we've taken our back hoop back off of here. It's easier to do that if you want to just get in here with a ratchet and tighten those up. Since we already know which hole we're mounting it in, it's not a big deal. Or you could just leave it together, put the whole thing on, and get in here with a wrench, but you don't have a lot of room to do that, to turn a wrench. So we just took it off to simplify things. Okay, so we've got that on there. We're going to go over and do the other side, and then we're going to put our rear hoop bar back on here, and then start attaching our top bars. So let's get this all done. All right, so we've got our hoops installed, our rear hoop and our front A-frame. So the next thing we're going to do is install our rails here. Really easy. You can see how they've got the half circles on them here. On this end, it tips down. You want to make sure if this end is towards the front. Now, you can space these any way you like, you know, as far as the distance in between them goes, but we have another little treat that we're going to be adding to this a little bit later here. And so for that, we need to make sure that we space this bar and the one on the other side 38 inches apart. So we're going to get this one on, and you don't want to tighten these down. Really easy to do. Just take the other side of your half circle, your clamp here, and your small hex bolts, and you're just going to start them in here very simply and easily. And also, guys, what I would recommend is putting a piece of cardboard over your front windshield, unless you're really confident about not dropping your socket or your tool you're using. We're not going to tighten any of these up. We're just going to snug them here a little bit, and basically not even really going to snug them. We're just going to start them, and that'll keep them in place till we get the other side on and get our measurement between them. So I'm going to put these bottom 3 in down here, and then I'm going to go hook the back one up, and then we'll be ready to put the other side on. And we're just going to move our rear hoop back and slide that up inside the half circle. Put our other half circle on, just like so. And same thing as in the front. We're going to start these bolts in here. And that's all we're going to do is just start these in, and then we're going to grab our other rail, and we're going to attach it the same way as we're doing this one, and get our 38 inches in between them for our walk plate that's going to actually go in here. We've got our measurements set for some accessories we're going to be adding to this later. So now we can go ahead and tighten everything up and get everything secured down. Cargo Master Mod Rack Stealth Kit. Okay guys, you can see here we've got everything laid out and ready to start putting this together to get it onto the Jeep. Comes with everything you need to do that. Comes with your plates, your rails, your mounting brackets, all your hardware, and your instruction sheet just in case you need it. So let's get this together and onto the Jeep. All right guys, so we've got everything organized out. It's usually a good idea to take and lay everything out and take your bolts and all your nuts and get those organized. It just makes the job a little easier to manage. So what we're going to do then is we're going to take our panels and take our carriage bolts, and we're going to put our carriage bolt through the slots and the panels for our platform, and then we're going to attach a washer and a nylock nut on the other side of it. And then we're just going to start these on here, and once we get it together, then we'll go back and we'll tighten them all up. So I'm going to go ahead and run through these, get these all together, and once we get this panel together, I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like all in one piece. All right guys, there you go. We've got our platform all together, and you can see here what it looks like when it's all in one piece. That'd be your bottom side, and this will be your top side. Now, when you get ready to put this on the Jeep, make sure that you put this to the front when you go to install this, and I'll mention that again when we get to that point. So now that we've got this together, we're going to set this off to the side and finish putting the rest of our mounting stuff on to get it onto the Jeep. All right, so we've got our side rails now, so what we want to do is take our carriage bolts, and we're going to put 10 of these on each one of our rails, because what's going to eventually happen is we're going to attach these to the platform that we just put together. So we've got our side rail, we've got our carriage bolts into it. So what we're going to do then is just attach it to our platform, and this will take a little finesse, guys, just so you know, getting all these lined up. And usually what I'll do is once I get the one on the end here lined up, I'll go ahead and put a nut on it just to hold it in place so that it doesn't fall back out while I'm lining the other ones. And don't tighten it down, just leave it loose there. So once we have all of our nuts and washers started on here, then what we're going to do is just line this up here with the end, and we'll make sure that this is lined up right with the end of the platform, not the piece over here, because we got caps to go on the ends of here, so we want it to look right when it's done. And what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to take one of these spots here and tighten this down to hold this in place while we tighten up the rest of them. All right guys, so we went ahead and turned our stealth rack around and put the other side on, attached just the same as the first one did. So we've got that ready to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our brackets on that are going to mount this to our rack. What we're going to do is to take our mounting brackets and attach those to our side rails. And the way you do this is you have these flat looking things here that have like a threaded hole in them. Those, we're going to slide these inside our rail. Grab a screwdriver or something because we want to slide our center one down to the middle. And it's important if you're going to add other accessories to kind of know where those are going to go so you can get these in place, because these are going to be mounted on here just like this. And but what we're going to do for our purposes is to keep the platform level and even for weight distribution. We're going to put one right here in the center of the center panel, and then we'll put one on each end, and that'll help to distribute the weight more evenly. And once we have those in place, then we're just going to take these button head hex bolts, and we're going to take our mounting bracket. Now make sure you get the right one. It's the one that's going to have this divot in it with the hole slot, and also you can see how it's got a little bit of a detent on the side of it here. That's what we're going to put into here. So we've got our rail mount brackets all attached on this side, and so what we're going to do now is we're going to attach our cover caps. And we're just simply going to use the same button head bolts that we used to attach our clamp brackets here and attach our covers on. And I just simply going to go on just like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and attach the one on the other end of this rail. And then we're going to wait till we get this up on the roof before we do any of this stuff on the other side, so that way we can get this set in place where it needs to go. So let's get this up on the Jeep. Okay guys, so what we've done then is we've got our rack up here. We've went ahead and loosened this rail up, slid it out, attached one of the other side of the brackets on that center piece over there to hold this up in place. So then what we need to do now is take our brackets for this side, and really simple and easy. We're just going to slide them in to the end here. And then once we have these in place where we want them, then we'll tighten them down and attach them to this rail on this side. So we've got these set. The center one here, we're just going to line it up right in the center just like the other side, and then we'll tighten it up. And then we'll do the same thing with our front and rear ones. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide this rail under here, and that's just going to hold this up for me so that I don't have to fight with it here and try and hold that up while I'm tightening stuff up. And then we'll put this one right here. And then we're going to set the back one, and then we'll put our end cap over the back, and then we'll be ready to attach this side to the rail. All right, once we have these attached, then we'll go ahead and pull our rail back. And then we're going to push our rail back into here like so. And then we're going to take our clamps and attach our clamps to all three of these and to the two other ones, tighten them down, tighten this rail back up, and then we'll be all set. All right guys, there you go. Just going to put our other two clamps on the other side, tighten this back one down, and we're all set. So that's really how quick and easy it is to install this Cargomaster Safari Mod Stealth Rack onto your Jeep. The Cargomaster Safari catwalk. We've got our catwalk laid up here on the front of our Jeep. It's a good idea to put something down on the hood here so you don't scratch it up while you're installing this. And what we need to do then is just go ahead and pull this up here and line it up with these bolt holes that are already in our front hoop here. And take the supplied bolts and the flat washer and lock washer, and we're going to attach this right to here. So let's get this on here. So, all right, so we've got our bolts started on this side. So before we tighten these up, in case we need to move this around a little bit, we're going to leave these just a little bit loose and go over and put the ones on the other side in and tighten those down, and then come back and tighten these up. Okay, so we can go ahead and tighten these down now. All right, there you have it. That's how quick and easy it is to install the Cargomaster Safari catwalk. The Cargomaster Safari hinge steps. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take our rubber bumpers while we've got this off, and it's easy, these off, and it's easy to get to them, and we're just going to attach these onto our side steps here. And just going to push them down inside the holes on the sides. So the first thing we're going to do then, as far as putting our hinge steps onto our Jeep, is to remove these two bolts on this top hinge. Now it's important, guys, when you're doing this, to only take these two out, because you want to leave these in, otherwise you're going to end up having to realign this whole door, and trust me, that'll be no fun whatsoever. So we're going to get these out, get that top part attached, and then we'll show you what to do next. All right, so we're going to take our bolts, our washer, and our lock washer that comes with our kit, and we're going to attach these onto the door hinge here along with our hinge step, just like so. All right, now on these top ones, guys, we'll go ahead and tighten these down. Because we don't want our door to move when we take the bottom ones out. All right, so once that's on there, then we'll go ahead and remove the bottom two. And then we're going to take our bracket and our 3 bolts that we have left for this side and attach this to the door and to our hinge step. And we're going to leave all this loose until we get it all in place here. And then the final one we're going to put up through the bottom to attach our hinge step to our bracket. Okay guys, there you have it. That's how quick and easy it is to install this Cargomaster Safari hinge step onto your Jeep. And as you can see here, works pretty nice. And the great thing about it is you can put one of these on, or you can put all 4 on. It's up to you. We're gonna go put one on the other side just to keep this thing balanced. All right guys, we've got our light bar mount kit out of the box. You can see here it comes with everything you need to get it installed onto your Congo Pro rack, and has your clamps for both sides. It also has your insert and a really nice cover to go over it once it's all done, so it'll look something like that. So your instruction sheet and also your warranty information. So let's get this onto the Jeep. What we're going to do then, guys, you can see here we've got this one put together. We're going to take this insert, we're going to put it in here, and then we're just going to clamp this down. Now what this is for your light bar when you install it. And I'll show you here in just a second what I'm talking about. When you put this up onto the Jeep, then it's going to allow you to have this opening here where you can put your screw into the side of your light bar to hold your light bar onto these mounting brackets. And then it has a cover, which is right here, that's going to go over that to hide that screw, as you can see in this one right here. So let's get this tightened down, and we'll get these up on the Jeep. As you can see here that we've got one of our brackets on. Just wanted to get that up on there, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it. It's really simple. You just take your bracket. Now make sure when you put these up on here that, well, you can do it one of two ways. If you don't have the light ready to go on yet, you can go ahead and attach your brackets and get that ready. Or you can attach your light to the brackets and then put it up on here, and then just take your other side of your clamp and you're just going to put it on here like so. And it's easiest if you just kind of let this thing down on this end a little bit here and get everything started. In order to do this, you're going to need a 1/4 inch hex key wrench, because a socket or something of that nature isn't going to work on here because it just doesn't have enough space. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this bottom one kind of snugged up, because once we get this flipped around, you won't be able to get to that bottom one anymore, so we'll have to tighten it with this one. And then we'll just move it back over like so, and just line it up on our other one over there, and then we're going to go ahead and tighten this side up. And what that's going to do then is that'll hold this in place and have it ready for us to install our light. Okay guys, all tightened down, ready for our light bar. Now, that's really how simple and easy it is to install these things. And one of the neat things about this is that you can of course loosen this bracket up, and you can slide these all the way out to each side for whatever size light bar you want to put on here. So there you go. The Cargomaster K-Rails. We've got everything out of the box. You can see here that the K-Rails come with everything you need to get them installed. Comes with, of course, a pair of K-Rails and also all your bolts and hardware to get these installed up onto your rack. So guys, what we've done here then, we're going to attach our K-Rails to our Jeep, but in order to do that, because the K-Rails are an additional accessory that you can get if you've already got this platform on, and you're going to have to take it loose in order to install your K-Rails. If you get it all at the same time, then you can go ahead and put the K-Rails and everything together before you attach all this up here. So what we've done is we've loosened up this bar so we can move it out, taken our brackets off of here. Now what we need to do then is to remove our end caps, slide these out so that we can put these pieces in and get our K-Rail attached and ready to go. Now, when you do this, keep in mind it's going to be the same on both ends. So whatever you do on this side, you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to take our flat nut and put it in here, just like so. Drag it in here a little bit. And then we have our carriage bolts. We're going to slide those in here in the top. And then once we have that all in place, then we can put our bracket back on. And for right now, we're just going to leave that loose because we're going to need to move it a little bit to get our K-bar in the correct location. Now, when you do this, keep in mind it's going to be the same on both ends. So whatever you do on this side, you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to take our flat nut and put it in here, just like so. Drag it in here a little bit. And then we have our carriage bolts. We're going to slide those in here in the top. And then once we have that all in place, then we can put our bracket back on. And for right now, we're just going to leave that loose because we're going to need to move it a little bit to get our K-bar in the correct location. All right, with everything in place, now we can go ahead and attach our K-bar. Really simple process. What we're going to do is get our carriage bolts lined up here. Once we have those lined up, we can take our washers and our self-locking nuts and put those on here. Now don't tighten these down yet, just put them on there to keep it from coming off. And then we're going to take our button head screw and attach it into the flat nuts that we put inside the rail here. And leave that loose as well. All right, so once we have those in place, now it's just a matter of lining up our brackets and tightening them all back down and tightening our K-bar bolts down and reattach our bar here. There you go. That's how quick and easy it is to install the Cargomaster Safari K-Rail accessory onto your Congo rack. So remember, until next time, happy motoring. The rocker walk side steps comes complete with everything you need. It comes with your side steps, your side step covers, and also your mounting brackets and all your hardware, your instructions, and a warranty sheet. So the first thing we did here is we went ahead and raised our Jeep up on our hoist. You don't have to do this on a hoist, but it just makes it a lot easier, especially when we're trying to show you guys what you need to do to put these on. So first thing after that is to remove, if you have factory running boards, go ahead and take those off. If you don't, which we don't on this, no problem. So our first step will be to remove the 3 body bolts. We have one here, and then we have one in the center and then one towards the back. Now hang on to these bolts, guys, because you're going to need these to put these back in when you're done. These are what's going to hold our side steps on. So I'm going to go ahead and get the other 2 out, and then we'll show you what we got to do next. So the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to attach our step cover, and if you had running boards on here, it would be the holes on the pinch weld here where you took your running board off from. However, we didn't have any, so we're just going to attach this right to that using 6 carriage bolts, 6 flat washers, and the nylock nuts. And we're just going to simply put it up here like so and put the bolt through the hole. All right, so we've got our first 2 started here. So what we want to do then is just go ahead and move on down our rocker step cover and attach our other 4, and then we'll be ready to start putting our mounting bracket and then eventually our side steps on here. So let's get these all in and get to that. We've got our step cover on. The next thing we're going to do then is install our step. And what we're going to do with that is we're just going to take it, set it up on top of here. As you can see here, these threaded, well, they're kind of like a nut, but they're welded right to the cover. And that's where we're going to attach our bolts through to hold this to this. So let's get that up there and start putting those in. So what we're doing here now, guys, is once we've got our step up on here, we're just attaching the step to the step cover, and we're going to leave these bolts loose, and then we'll raise this back up and go under and reattach our body mount bolts on the underside, and our mounting brackets. Once we get that done, then we'll tighten everything up, and so we make sure it's all in place where it needs to be. So then we're just going to reinstall these in the 3 locations where we took them out. And just like the top bolts, we're just going to leave these loose. And I'll do the other 2, and then we'll start getting ready to tighten everything up once we get our brackets on here. So, all right, so these are our mounting support brackets. And as you can see here, they have the same style of welded threaded nut kind of thing that our other piece had, and then the 2 slots here. So what we're going to do then is we're going to slide this in behind our step like this, right where the slots are, the 2 slots in the back of the step here, and then we're going to attach it through using our button head bolts, just so that it'll be attached through like this. So I'm going to put those up there, and we'll show you how to get everything hooked up here. And we want to leave those loose as well, guys, until we get everything lined up here, because we also have another bolt that we're going to have to put in up here, and I'll show you where that goes here in just a second if you haven't already figured it out. Right straight up here in this slot, there's a hole in there, and this is where we're going to use the M8 bolt and lock washer and flat washer on this one. It's going to go in just like so, and then we're going to leave it loose as well. So we got another bracket for this that's going to go right back here. We're going to attach it just like we did this front one, and then we'll be ready to start tightening stuff up. Okay, so we've got our step on, our cover, our mounting brackets underneath. So it's time now to start tightening everything up. What you're going to do at this point then is just kind of determine the gap and the fit you want here. I kind of like having this all the way up against as far as you can go, especially since how this has some rocker cover stuff on it here, so it's not going to hurt anything. So what we're going to do then is we're going to start on the outsides and start tightening these button head bolts up. Tighten this one, that one, this one, that one, back and forth until you get to the center. So let's get these tight. So our final step here, guys, is to take the 1/2 inch button head bolts with our flat washer and lock washer, and there's 2 of them. We're going to put one here on the front, and then there's another hole just like this back there on the back where we're going to install one there as well, and that's all we have left. Well, there you have it, guys. That's how quick and easy it is to install these Cargomaster rocker walk side steps onto your Wrangler or JK Series Jeep. And we're gonna jump over, do the one on the other side. It's exactly the same way as this one. So remember, until next time, happy motoring.